Hey, namaste. This is another day of Real Talk. Sacredowl. Somebody gave me that name, so I'm going to use it now. So it's Real Talk by Sacredowl, or Sacredowl with Real Talk, whatever you like comfortable saying. But today I want to talk about the idea of how people jump to conclusions without getting all the facts. And what I discovered in my life, and what I learned today, really, in talking to a very wonderful woman, that my emotions and my ideas and what I thought was going on wasn't all the facts. So since I had to learn that lesson today, I figured it's fresh in my mind. Let me share it with you guys. So let's talk about assumptions. Assumptions is something that's really, really very detrimental to our condition. Humans, we jump to conclusions sometimes because we are emotionally involved in something and we get emotionally invested in it, and then we realize that what we got invested in escalated in our own thinking because of our own emotions that inflate the energy of an idea that really wasn't completely fair. And what I'm saying is that when we jump to conclusions or make assumptions about individuals or situations, sometimes we neglect the idea, or we neglect the facts of getting all the information that works in understanding the whole picture. As people say, the truth is triangulated. So you have your version, my version, and then what really happened, and it becomes a triangle. Now, of course, it's completely circular, but at the same time, though, even though it's triangulated and it's complete, sometimes the truth is not always accepted. So then we jump to what we call conclusions or assumptions. Assumptions, as an old line says, it makes an ass out of you and me. Well, there's a lot of truth behind that. And the reality is that we need to learn to walk in people's shoes for at least 2 blocks, a mile even, so that we can understand what their process are, or what they're going through, or the challenges that they may be experiencing throughout their life. We've never lived another person's life, but we can jump to a conclusion about their personality or their attitude or their mentality or the way they think, because we get offended, or we get annoyed, or we get emotional about how they're treating, or how they treat us, or how we see them treating others. And not realizing that the person that they may be mistreating really understands their disposition and tolerates that mistreatment till they get behind closed doors, or till they get into a situation where they can speak about it. Those kind of people have this thing called grace, commanding grace. And that grace is something that we can practice often, but we don't practice it enough. I do want to say to all those people out there who make assumptions, be clear, be very, very clear before you jump to a conclusion. Have all the information before you say something to somebody. Have all the information before you start feeling an annoyance or giving a person an attitude. Have all the information before you give them the silent treatment, because that silent treatment is abuse, as we spoke about the other day. So I'm sharing this with you because, you know what? We have to be very clear about what we're trying to understand. Everybody has a story. Are you willing to read it? Are you willing to understand it? Because if you're not, then don't expect people to understand your story. We all have been victimized by assumptions. We all been victimized by misconceptions and misconclusions. And so we need to take the time to love ourselves enough not to make a ass out of ourselves by jumping to an assumption or a conclusion without gathering all the information. Peace.